And that's what we do. We go out.
You're out there with these sharks?
It's the ocean.
I need you to get
It's the ocean.
Stegall on a surfboard.
They live there. That's their home.
Yeah. Flutie versus Stegall.
It is Flutie versus Stegall, the studio sessions edition. Here is Doug Flutie. Here is Milt Stegall. It's great to be together. It's great to talk ball. It's great to tell some stories.
Yes.
And to be with two of the best to ever do it is great because I've learned so much about football through you two and just kind of the way you guys see the game. So back in the day, we had the all Madden team. Now I want to do your all-time all Flutie team, your all-time all Stegall team. When it comes to the skilled positions, you know, quarterback, receivers, running backs. Then on the defensive side, who's the best linebacker you'd want on your team? What's the best pass rusher you want on your team? Who's the coach you want running your team? And the only rule, you can't pick yourselves.
So,
because I know you would pick yourself.
at every position.
At every position.
Do these have to be players and
All
coaches
time.
that we work with? Or?
No, just all time.
Pick your top
Okay.
spot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well,
You're all time. So, Doug, you're the quarterback. We will
okay.
revert to you on who would be your quarterback.
All-time
you would
great,
choose.
Tom Brady. I've been around to, but I'm going to put that aside because it's too obvious. I'm going Joe Montana.
Okay.
I'm going Joe because he was my hero growing up, and he was mobile, athletic, that mold that he could still do the other stuff. You know, the game changed by the time Tom was Tom, but I'll take Joe as my guy just because that was my hero growing up, and he situationally, it was a different game then, but he was still athletic. He could move, he could do the bootleg stuff and take off and run when he needed to. I love Joe.
And fourth quarter comebacks.
Just
Joe Montana.
nothing like it.
Not to rub salt in the wound, Mr. Cincinnati. Super Bowl 23.
Yeah,
Finding John
yeah,
Taylor in the back
I know,
of the end
I
zone.
know.
I was sitting in the end zone watching that drive from the opposite end. Like
Opposite end.
when they were backed up and
Yeah.
Joe was talking about
Yeah.
John Candy in the stands and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could hear those guys breathing in the huddle from that distance. By the time they scored a touchdown, they were 110 yards away.
Sure. Who's your quarterback, Milt?
Okay. Only reason I'm not picking Doug because he's sitting here. That's the only reason I'm not picking him. Otherwise, I'll pick him. But I'm going to go with the man who's only professional football player who's in the CFL and NFL Hall of Fame. That's Warren Moon. That's who I'm going with, Warren Moon. Yeah, he was spectacular on both sides of the border. Of course, he started off in Edmonton in Canada, and then he went and tore it up in Houston, and I saw that firsthand. You know, my 3 years with the Bengals, they were doing a run and shoot. It was unfortunate he couldn't, get him to the Super Bowl, but they were doing some great things with that run and shoot in Houston. So that's my quarterback.
Warren Moon. Throw.
Yes.
His arm strength
Football.
is ridiculous.
Yes.
I got a buddy, Bobby Torrance, back from my Calgary days. He was a Canadian kid, backup quarterback in the CFL. And Bobby used to, when people would talk about Warren, and he was fantastic. They won the 5 straight and all that. He's like, Wilkie won 2 of those. Wilkie came off the bench and had to save his ass. Wilkerson, I guess, was a Canadian guy.
Exactly, yeah.
So but that was Bobby's hero.
And like Doug, Warren played into his 40s.
Yep.
Remember, went on to Minnesota and
played
Seattle.
in Seattle,
All the way.
Yeah.
Running back.
In my opinion, this is the greatest football player, period, regardless of position, and that's Barry Sanders.
Wow, okay.
Barry Sanders, and I saw him right out of high school. My first college game was against Oklahoma State. His Heisman Trophy season, if you watch his Heisman Trophy highlights, Miami of Ohio is probably half of those highlights.
Right.
He destroyed us. So he would be my starter. But right behind him is a guy named Charles Roberts. So if you don't know about the CFL, know about Winnipeg, you don't know about Charles Roberts, but you know about Charles. He was a spectacular player. But running back, Barry Sanders, and it's not even close.
Yeah. I'm going, and there's 2 guys that are the same exact mode. And I even talked about this in a kind of a football life story for LaDainian Tomlinson. So I'm going to go old school, but they're the same guy in my mind. So it's LaDainian Tomlinson or Walter Payton, and I'm going to go Walter because of.
And you played with both of them.
I played with both of them.
That's amazing.
I played with Thurman Thomas, Walter Payton, LaDainian. It's amazing the guys I've rubbed shoulders with, but phenomenal running back. Make people miss, run people over, lower, be physical. and could run routes and catch the ball like a wide receiver. My first touchdown pass in the NFL was to Walter. Over the top corner route for a running back in the back of the end zone, dragging his feet, catching it over. He could throw the ball like a quarterback. And he did play a little quarterback when guys got banged up.
Yeah.
So as a quarterback, I like the versatile guy that could catch the ball out of the backfield and all that. And that's, obviously they're all great. But I'll go with Walter.
What was Walter like?
Walter was a fun-loving prankster type guy. And he was great for me because when I got to Chicago, I was going into a hornet's nest of a team that really wasn't excited that I was coming in.
Right.
And, McMahon was making things a little more difficult for me than they needed to
Trying
be.
to make you uncomfortable.
And so Walter was a good friend. Walter and Willie Galt out of that group were good friends.
Galt.
Willie Galt could fly.
He could run. He was a track guy who was able to play football. So,
And I think if memory serves, he may have even been an Olympic bobsledder.
he
Yes,
did that
he
too
did.
because of his speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so we got our quarterbacks, we got our running backs. We'll defer to our receiver first. Who's the guy catching the ball?
Well,
on
first
your
of
team?
all, Jerry Rice. If you don't pick Jerry Rice, Doug, you're up out of here.
Okay.
So he's one, and the other one, I'm going to go with Randy Moss.
That's what I want to
I'm
hear.
gonna go
That's
with
what I want to
Randy
hear.
Moss.
Yeah.
And some people may have been faster than Randy Moss as far as if you timed him in the 40. But once you get him on the football field, there was nobody who's ever played football up to this point who looked faster than Randy Moss once he got the ball in his hands. He did some spectacular things with the ball in his hands. It was unfortunate that year in New England, they couldn't finish it off and have the perfect season.
17-0.
Crazy. But Randy Moss, he's the guy. Jerry Rice, of course, is the guy, but Randy Moss, he's right there.
And Randy could go climb the ladder to go get the ball.
He could do it all. He'd throw that hand up, and that was it.
Throw
It was
that
a
hand-
wrap.
That
throw
is
it.
the amazing part of the game that, it's so precise on offense, right? Your depth of your route, you're this, you're that, read coverage, rotation, quarterback, getting through progression. And a guy throws his hands up and you're supposed to see it.
Right.
And you did when it was Randy. Because you were usually locked in. And I agree. Most dominant receiver ever to play the game, Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Greatest technician, wide receiver, no doubt, Jerry Rice.
Right.
I'm going to go to the same two guys, but I'm going to bring Eric Moulds with me over there to sub
gotta
in.
have your boy there.
I'm just going to give Jerry a break every third, fourth play and let E. Moulds get a route or two in.
Mississippi's finest, baby.
He's been talking about Eric Moulds.
Oh, my goodness.
He got me to the damn Pro Bowl.
That's it.
I love it.
So what was it about Moulds? What?
He was fast. He was strong and physical, could get off press coverage. And when he was one-on-one, you knew he was going to get off the press. And if they're inside technique, any outside, we would run the slot fade with him till the cows come home. And if he was head up, it didn't matter if he was out, he'd fight for the outside technique, slot fade, outside one-on-one. Fade right, just put the ball in a spot for him to have a chance. He was really strong forearms and hands, and he'd reach out. And once he had his hands, it wasn't coming out. You were confident enough to just put it up because you know it's not going to get picked. You're probably going to get an interference call, or he's going to catch it.
Yeah.
Let's go the other. Oh, tight end. Lest we forget. You play with some good ones.
I played with some great ones. And actually, I'm going to stay old school when I make my pick. But my story going into it is when I took over for Drew in the middle of the season in San Diego with the Chargers, and Antonio Gates played his first game. And I knew what kind of talent he was. The coaches weren't sure. He was a basketball player trying to play football at the time. I hit him on a couple middle read balls, a couple corner routes for touchdowns down the red zone. And it was off and running for Antonio and his career. Amazing. Much more athletic than the guy I'm going to say, but the guy I'm going to say, Russ Francis. Back in the day, we're going way back. When I was a rookie, Russ was on. When I was early in my career, Russ was still playing with the Patriots at the end of his career. Okay. And he created the tight end position to what it became. And that's why. I mean, there's guys like Gronk and everybody else that have been, since then, more athletic, bigger, faster, stronger. But he changed the position.
What about Dave Casper, huh? That's
Dave
going back
Casper,
a little bit.
I was a Baltimore Colts fan.
Okay. All right.
Colts playing the Raiders, go to overtime. This is the 70s, Burt Jones days with the Colts. And freaking Dave Casper made over-the-top catch. He kicked our ass, went to overtime, beat the Colts in overtime. I hate Dave Casper.
Who are your tight ends, Stegall?
We're only picking one, right?
You can take two.
I'm gonna go with Gronk. I like what Gronk was able to do. You could line him up at receiver and he could get it done. He could get it done. He wasn't faster or quicker than the guys. He would just move them around. I also like Shannon Sharp. I like Shannon Sharp. I like what he was able to do. Him and Elway did some great things in Denver. He wasn't the biggest guy. He wasn't the most physical guy, but he could finesse guys and he could make some big plays down the field. And I know people are like, you didn't pick the greatest tight end of all. And who was that?
Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And I he's right there. Stats wise, I think he's a leader in all the stats or whatever. I think Gronk is right there winning, but I like Gronk and I like Shannon Sharp.
Mr. Swift is in the running. Mr. Swift.
Yeah, the Kelsey thing's an interesting one.
It's a different game. Like he's turned into a possession guy.
Yeah.
At this stage, of things.
It's just a different game.
But without Tony Gonzalez, there's no Antonio Gates.
There's no Antonio. Yeah.
Like Gonzalez
Basketball
really
guy
redefined what that position
That's kind of
became.
You know what? I'm gonna take Shannon Sharp off and put Tony on there. I got to. Yeah,
Tony.
Yeah, I got to put Tony on.
But
there.
that's what I'm saying about Russ Francis. Was one of the first guys that could get up the field and run, and actually Howard Cosell labeled as all world at tight end.
Yeah.
Pass rusher. We're living in the age of great ones right now, and Myles Garrett's just.
I'm going to stay old on you, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying he's incredible right now. I mean, we're in Vegas. Max Crosby's one of the most dynamic players in the league.
He's not ready to be one of the great ones.
Not yet.
He's not in there.
Not yet.
No.
What do you got, Flutie?
What do I got? I got a guy that nobody could block, Reggie White.
Yeah.
Reggie broke my collarbone, separated my shoulder. He did the same for a few others, Phil Simms and a couple others. Reggie was stronger and quicker than anyone in that era. Like it was it always like he wasn't a weight room guy, I don't think. It was a like big country strong type of guy.
Sure.
And just impossible to block. And he dictated everything you did offensively. Before when you're going through game plan, it's like, how do we block Reggie on this play? On this play, can we do that? No, eliminate that, eliminate this, eliminate. We're going to do all slide protection. We're going to do this, that. You couldn't block him. The play that I got injured on was actually USFL day, right? Another USFL guy.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie was with the Memphis Showboats. I had rolled to my left. It was 3rd and long. I was getting near the line of scrimmage. I didn't want to cross the line. I wanted to go up the field. Reggie was chasing from behind, wrapped me up, tucked my arms, lifted, drove my shoulder into the turf, broke my collarbone. Reggie was a force. It was just different from anyone else in that era.
Reggie White, I was with Green Bay just for training camp and all offseason workout in '95. That's the strongest individual I've ever seen in my life.
No kidding.
There is no one at any position I've ever seen stronger than Reggie White. He was special. But for me, the greatest defensive player in NFL history, Lawrence Taylor. Yeah. That's what I'm going with. And you can't go wrong with Reggie White.
He's a linebacker.
Yeah. No, he was a rush guy.
He was a 3-down. He created the position.
Lawrence could have played strong safety.
Okay,
He could have played strong safety if they needed him to.
They asked me, Lawrence Taylor and I are doing a Q&A session somewhere in New York, years ago, right? And it was
Doug has a story.
It was
for
on
everybody.
And they asked us, who was the most influential coach in your life? Blah blah blah. And he's talking Parcells. He's talking whatever, right? I'm like Tom Coughlin. And he's like, Tom, and at that time, Tom Coughlin was a wide receiver coach in New York.
He wasn't even a head coach
he's like,
yet.
Tom, are you Tom Coughlin? Yeah, Tom ended up winning the Super Bowl. Tom ended up
winning 2.
I told you.
Yeah.
No, that was my LT story. He couldn't believe. He's like, Tom Coughlin. No, he's like, a grad assistant or something in his mind at the time.
Yeah.
Well, you know the all-time LT story, don't you?
Oh, yeah. With him being late or whatever? Falling asleep.
No. So the New York Giants, like head accountant, the CFO, they cannot balance the books at the end of the fiscal year. They are millions of dollars off, and they can't figure out what's going on. And they finally show up to Lawrence Taylor's locker, and he's got millions of dollars of uncashed checks
in his locker,
sitting in his locker with a bunch of gauze and T-shirts and whatever.
That's an example of, they say there's people or players who want to play football and players who want to be football players, he just wanted to play football.
You guys wanna play
He didn't
football.
care about all the other stuff that came with. He just wanted to play football.
And strap it on Sunday.
Strap it on. Like, we would go out there like some wild dogs. That was his saying.
The Wild Dogs. You played for the greatest coach of all time, Doug. Who's the coach of the All Flutie team?
The coach of the All Flutie team, and like you say, I was with Bill Belichick in New England just for the 1 year, but for me, when I was playing, and it was just, I should just go to the greatest coach.
It's your team, man.
Okay, if I'm playing on the team,
Yeah.
I want Don Matthews as my head coach. I want Don Matthews as my head coach.
Cowboy.
Because Don is saying, John, this is Doug. Doug, this is John. Doug, this is your team. John, stay the fuck out of the way.
And John's the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, John was. So what I'm saying is, I had so much confidence. He let loose the reins, let me be me, and I went and just played football and didn't worry about anything else. That doesn't work for a lot of young guys. That doesn't work for a lot of the young guys on the team. But boy, it was great for me. But my all-time best coach was Tom Coughlin. From an X and O standpoint, taught me the most football I've ever learned in my life. And God, I love him to death. He created my career for me, built my discipline, all that. He was my offensive coordinator back in college.
Right.
Tom Coughlin.
Went on to become the head coach at BC,
boy,
and then the Giants, of course,
you know what
in
would
the
be
two
great?
Super Bowls.
I want Tom Coughlin as my offensive coordinator, and I want Don Matthews as my head coach.
Some stories about Don Matthews.
And we talked about this at dinner last night. The Don line, the thicker my wallet, the better
prettier
looking I get. Who is the coach of the All Stegall
Well,
team?
I'm going with another Don Shula, the only man who was a head coach of an undefeated season. And don't get me wrong, I hate to give coaches credit. Majority of the time, it's the players who deserve all the credit. But if you orchestrate an undefeated season on a professional level, it's a lot of coaching involved with that. It's a lot of coaching. So I would go with Don Shula.
Don Shula goes back to, I was my parents were from the Baltimore area. I grew up a Baltimore Colts fan as a little kid. So he started it all back with the Baltimore Colts. Yeah. I remember him back to those days.
His son was my head coach for my 3 years with the Bengals.
Mike.
And I think he won the same amount of games in those 3 years than his father. Than his father won in that one season. I think we won like 15, 16, and his father was what, 16-0 that year? Yeah. So I guess the apple fell far from the tree that time.
Mike Shula was a quarterback for Alabama when Boston College, and we went down and upset Alabama at Alabama and came from behind and kind of kick-started what was an amazing senior year for me. And Mike was their quarterback. And you know what the key to that game was? They were beating their butt, and their tailback, Kerry Good, was amazing, and he got injured. But they still felt like the game was under control. They were up by 17, and they put their freshman backup quarterback in for a series to get him some playing time, and he throws a pick, and it was on from there. We came back.
Away you go. So Don Shula over here. Don Matthews
and
over
Tom
here. And Tom Coughlin, absolutely. All right, so you now live in Florida, Doug, full time.
Yeah.
Milt, you're in Atlanta. And
see, shoes are optional.
I was gonna say, and when we tape the show week after week, we always see the surfboard in the back. Like in retirement, surfing's kind of become your jam.
It's just been a fun, it's a physical activity, staying in shape, having fun, whatever, without beating myself up.
Yeah.
And I love being out on the water, and my back's tight, my knees are swollen, so I can't really pop up. I'm on a stand-up all the time now, stand-up paddleboard, catching waves. But
so is the pass rusher now the shark?
yes, yeah, definitely. They're the pass rushers.
Shark.
Look, I got a deal. Look, we go to dinner. This guy's eating octopus, whatever. Right? I'm like,
Scallops,
I promise the shark.
yeah.
We set the bar. Look, I don't eat you. You don't eat me. We got a deal. We're good, right? I don't eat any fish. Yeah, I don't even eat your friends. None. No, I don't touch your friends. You guys are good. And that's what we do. We go out.
You're out there with these sharks?
It's the ocean.
I need you to get
It's the ocean.
Stegall on a surfboard.
They live there. That's their home. So we're during COVID. It was beginning of COVID, and the rest of the world shuts down. I'm living in the free state of Florida, so we're doing whatever the hell we want. And I'm sorry, free country of Florida. And
It's its own country.
So the guys are all surfing out. So I go out back, and one day I paddle out, and one of the guys, hey, Doug, how you doing? Yeah, just a heads up, there's a 10-foot hammerhead floating around. He's showing
and you
up.
still went out there.
So I'm paddling out. Yeah, I told you I got my deal. They signed the deal. I don't eat them. They don't eat me. We're good. So I go out and I go, okay, yeah, no big deal, whatever. And sure enough, I turn and I paddle into my first wave. And being on a stand-up, you're already up. You don't have to do the pop-up thing. So I turn, I take the drop, and this fin, now this fin goes heading from south to north across left to right. About 15, 20 feet out in front of me, it surfaces, and it's just traveling a little bit that way. So I take the wave left instead of right. And you just, paddle, turn back around, stay out there. During certain times of the year, it's migration season, and we get a lot of black tip. We get the black tip and these spinner sharks that jump out of the water that migrate. And they're all, every 30 seconds to a minute, you see a shark jump out of the water somewhere.
And you're still out there surfing?
I got my deal. I set the deal.
I didn't sign a deal
You
with
didn't
him.
sign? No.
How are you going to get Stegall out
It's not
there
gonna
on
happen.
the
We'll get
surfboard?
you down.
Come
We'll
on.
get you on a boat. I got an aircraft
You
carrier.
have a swimming pool at your house, right?
Yeah.
We'll be surfing in the
We got
swimming
we got
pool,
a
baby.
pool, the pond. The pond be good for you. You could go to the pond. Go out
That's
the
what
pond with the
alligators
gators,
are, right?
with the
Yeah,
guy-
okay, that's what's gonna happen.
No, we got to get you an aircraft carrier. We get you like
Duh.
a 12-foot stand-up paddleboard.
Duh.
And
It's not going to happen, Doug. It's not going to happen, I promise you. It's not happening.
there's very nice.
It's the studio sessions with the Hall of Famers. It's Flutie versus Stegall. That's our quarterback. That's our receiver. We are powered by Ozone. We thank you again for making us one of North America's fastest growing podcasts.
Flutie versus Stegall.